What's up, guys? Tom, owner of For the Love of Car Mobile Detailing. Well, this past week I did a ceramic coating on a 2019 Honda CR-V, and I recorded a whole bunch of it and wanted to show you guys exactly what I did. So wound up being a little more footage than I anticipated, so I decided to turn this into a two-part video so I can show you guys a little more in depth all the steps I took to make this car look amazing and be very well protected. So any good wash process starts with good wheel cleaning, right? Spraying the degreaser on there. So of course the degreaser on the tire. And I use my Speedmaster Junior brush to clean the inside of the barrel. Get that all nice and clean. And then I have a dedicated wash mitt to clean the face of the wheel. And that way I can also get behind the spokes and get all the spots that that little brush misses inside of the barrel and make the wheel perfect. And then the only thing the wash mitt can't hit is the lug nuts on these wheels. So the little lug nut brush, make sure that's all good. Clean up the caliper, make sure that's looking nice. And then of course scrub down the tire after the degreaser's been sitting on there for a little bit. And then clean it all off, rinse it all down, get all the cleaner off of there. And one last thing, no wheel cleaning is complete without you gotta wash the camera. And there's that little Chessie girl, my little company mascot. So it seems so far all the videos I've made, everyone always makes a comment on the foam cannon, so figured I'd put some foam cannon footage in there. So that was the pre-wash. I let that dwell on there and then rinsed it all off with the power washer, after which I used a nice soapy water and sponge the whole thing down. So I was definitely using a 2-bucket method on this car because this car was very new. It only had 550 miles on it, so I didn't want to put any extra scratches in it that I would have to then polish out in the correction process. So and I'm sure you guys can notice a lot of this footage is pretty well sped up. So here I'm using an iron remover, which you spray on the paint and it dissolves any iron that's on the car, brake filings, or sometimes rail dust from if the cars are transported by rail. But it turns purple when it dissolves the iron, and I was looking here for any purple so I could show you guys, but this car had no iron on it. So after that's done its thing and dissolved what it's going to dissolve, this is a really important rinse process because you really want to get all of that chemical off of the car. So I take my time, go around it once again with the pressure washer and really get all that stuff off of there. So after the chemical decontamination, then you move to the mechanical decontamination, aka the clay bar treatment. So here I'm using a synthetic clay mitt, which I actually prefer to the traditional clay bar. It's just much easier to work. I feel like it goes way faster. I was using the fine grade mitt on this car because, again, it was so new. There was a little bit on it, but really not much. So after that, rinsed the car off again and then went to drying. So, you know, took my time drying it. Obviously, you guys can see that it went way into the dark here. Yeah, it was definitely a few hours to properly wash this thing and get it situated. So after that, pulled it into the garage, which is dehumidified, and then I let it sit for the night. And so that way it was completely dry in the morning when it was time to start working on it and do the paint correction, and then off to the ceramic coating. So in part 2, you guys will see actually some polishing, and then some IPA wipe down to get rid of any waxes from the polish, and then actually the application of the ceramic coating. So that's what's in store. Stay tuned.